Listen. It's good.
Oh, you've done it again. You have stopped on in to Colette and Matt have entered the chat. It's a weekly conversation about video games, video game culture, video game announcements, and weird videos published by Nintendo of America. I don't know what this is all about, but I got to tell you, if you are listening to this in your podcast platform of choice, you're hearing just voices. But if you are watching this on YouTube, then you are witnessing our very first video podcast. Hello.
Podcast with faces.
It's faces on the internet. My name is Matt Silverman, joined by the face behind the voice, Colette Bennett. Hello.
Hi, this
There
is so
she
exciting. We have recorded how many hundreds of
This
podcasts
is
have we
episode
recorded?
223.
Okay, gentle listeners, gentle Rita. we have done hundreds of episodes, never one face to face. In fact, I think for episode 100, I once said to Matt, "Wouldn't it be cool if I could just fly to New York and we can do the podcast in person?" Because I just thought it would be so much fun, and so it feels extremely momentous to do faces.
It would not be fun to do it in person because from a technical point of view, it would be a huge pain in my ass. But
because you have to have separate mics for each person and separate setups.
mics, and would it be like the minute you add a second camera, it just becomes a pain in the butt. But through the magic of the internet and video conferencing technology, like it is. When you do this stuff for a living, you're like, oh my God, everyone has a production studio in their house. Why would I set up a production studio in a real space when everyone has a production studio that automatically syncs everything together on their desk or in their pocket, you know?
Yeah.
Remote podcasting is just, it's so much better and more flexible, and there's no scheduling. Anyway, I could talk forever. How are you?
I'm excellent. Right before this podcast started, I was reading some of the links that you had sent over, and then I clicked away to another link, and I learned the term. This is totally unrelated to games, by the way. I learned the term wire sexual. Have you ever heard that before? A wire sexual is apparently a person who defines their sexual identity via the internet.
I guess I'm a wire sexual.
Well, because I first was like, when I saw it, my first thought was, oh shit, is that me? Like, is that a name for me that I didn't know? Like I've grown up. Like, well, actually, so the article it was on Cyber News, which we were on earlier. And the article
interesting.
was,
okay.
A growing number of wire sexual women are choosing AI boyfriends. And I was like, okay, fine, cool, whatever. But
okay.
What's a fucking wire sexual? And then I had to go like look and see like what that was defined as. And
well, that's okay. That you're answering my next question, which is like, okay, if I'm heterosexual, then I'm attracted to the opposite sex. If I'm homosexual, I'm attracted to the same sex. If I'm wire sexual, I'm not attracted to women on the internet. I'm attracted to the internet or synthetic people, which is AI bots and whatnot. That's a whole separate conversation.
Cyber News says the term digisexual was coined in 2017 to describe individuals whose primary sexual identity comes through the use of technology. So I don't know if that necessarily means if you're dating an AI, or I'm not sure. Well, no, because that was 2017. Were people dating AIs in 2017? I don't think so.
Having a parasocial relationship with a like synthetic, a character, a waifu, yes. Yeah, I think the answer that I'm trying to say is yes, but it was not nearly as sophisticated as it is now.
Right.
Obviously.
I feel like the Discord might school us on this, which is totally fine. Like I've played visual novels where male characters text you, but I've never had a thing. I've never done a thing where you're like, hello, hot AI, how are you today? And they're like, hello. And you're like, we're in a digisexual relationship.
This is tough because I however you choose to be and identify and live your life is the best way for you.
Yeah.
I guess where I get a little stuck is like, you know, your sexuality is baked into the wiring of your body, your brain, your wires, your hormones. Like that is all we know that it's biological, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have been the same biological creatures for 2.2 million years. You know what I mean? Roughly,
Yep.
depending on which anthropologist you talk to. So there have always been gay people, and there have always been trans people, and there have always been heterosexual people.
Yep.
But to suddenly say that I'm attracted, that my sexual identity is that I'm attracted to fairies or unicorns or AI, I get it, but I'm having trouble understanding if that is if that's I feel like a shithead even saying it, but like, is that
it a real thing?
Is it a real thing?
So I'm guessing that you've probably not seen or heard of the documentary about the people, they're called objectum sexuals, and I'm super fascinated with them,
Okay.
who fall in love with objects.
Right.
So there was a woman who was in love with the Brooklyn Bridge. And when I say in love, I mean she had a sexual relationship in which she went to the Brooklyn Bridge and had sexual intercourse in some way with the Brooklyn Bridge.
Okay.
So you're like, okay, she's fucking crazy, right? I mean, that's probably the first thing you want to say. But she's not a one-off. There's actually it was a great documentary. Like I was
This is helping me put it into context, because has the Brooklyn Bridge been part of our evolutionary history? Absolutely not. But have objects and shapes and structures been? Yes. So you could see how you could be biologically attracted. And then to extrapolate that further, well, AI and the internet hasn't been around, but the way we feel when interacting with a construct like that could be analogous to an object or a creature or a person. So I guess that, again, you're convincing me. You're getting me there.
Yeah. I've always been super fascinated with people who, and this has been around for ages, the sex dolls, with the objectum sexuals after I learned about them.
Right.
Not fascinated like, oh, look at those fucking crazies, but more like relationships with real human beings are so hard and so challenging sometimes that this is a better option for many people. And I think AI is the next piece of that. So, which I think, we can make a whole podcast about just that, but
in the way that
podcast
social media allows shy or socially awkward people to participate in the world, that's in a powerful way. That's awesome. And also, social media is a force of destruction and terror, at least the way it is currently modeled. So like, I agree that there will be many people who will find comfort and positivity in an AI companion, but also choosing to disengage with humans because it's easier to love a bot feels like like we're going to have a bad time. Many people will have trouble with this.
Yeah. All those things were true.
All of them are true. Well, let's talk about some video game news. Oh, I played the wrong music. And now I'm playing it infinitely. Okay, turn that off. Turn that off. Do I have the breaking news? Yes. Okay, just for listeners and viewers now, I have OBS running. I have Zencastr running. I can only play the sounds in Zencastr so Colette can hear them. But OBS is capturing from my desktop and my microphone and my camera, which is separate, but I don't want to play audio from my desktop while we're talking. So I have like 400 windows open, and then I clicked on the wrong button. So that's the breaking news sound.
Also, I think this being our first video podcast, people are probably expecting it to be a little imperfect.
No, it's unacceptable, and we need to start over. Okay.
For 39 FPS? Fuck that.
I am broadcasting. My camera's capturing at 30 FPS, but I'm broadcasting at a buttery smooth 60 FPS because I am going to show you this weird fucking video.
This fucking video, which yesterday, the video itself aired yesterday, correct?
Yeah, we are recording on Thursday,
Thursday,
the 8th, but this popped up.
Yes.
Shout out to Tricky Love in the Discord who was like, what the fuck is this? And everyone, we all started watching it.
And then we were all like, what the fuck is this? And I think, we were all like, okay, this doesn't have anything to do with video games, at least not visibly. And so we're like,
this is on Nintendo of America's YouTube
website.
channel,
so we're like,
on their YouTube channel, which is like, all they do is publish game announcements and game trailers from first party, third party things.
Right. So I guess now, having seen what the next chapter, I guess you could say, of this is today, I can kind of go, oh, I see. You're really supposed to focus on that the baby's seeing something.
But don't spoil it. Don't spoil it, right?
We're not, the baby's seeing something yet. We're not seeing. Right.
So for audio listeners, we gotta talk to each other. We gotta watch a video. We have to explain what the video is. And for audio listeners, this is a video called "Close to You," which is it's a cinematic, almost Pixar-esque or Illumination-esque video that you might see. Like, it looks like almost like a feature film, but it's like a 2-minute video. It's a video called "Close to You." And there is zero description or information in the video description, meaning it's just the title and this beautiful animated short of a baby and a pacifier that is moving on its own. And the baby learns to walk because he or she is chasing the pacifier. It's adorable.
Right. It's really cute. But you're like, what does it have to do with video games in any way? So we were all super perplexed in the Discord yesterday watching this video and going like, okay, Nintendo, what are you doing? What are you doing?
And the internet, of course, was analyzing it to death to be like, is this Nintendo partnering with Illumination, who is making the Super Mario Brothers movies?
Right.
Are they launching a Nintendo animation studio? Is this Illumination doing something? And then some folks were saying, well, hey, there's a teeny bit of music in the video that sounds like the Pikmin theme. And that's where the speculation kind of was like, is this a Pikmin thing? And lo and behold, today, Thursday, the next day, after receiving no information from Nintendo at all, no tweets or anything, this Nintendo Today app, which we all installed the minute it came out and then promptly uninstalled because it barely functions and doesn't do anything. They published the same video, but with Pikmin in the video. And little Pikmin are moving the pacifier around, which we could not see in the YouTube version.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I think it's pretty... I mean, to be fair, the what the fuck is this aside, not having anything to do with games at first, like... Now, as you were showing it just now, I was rewatching it and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty sweet. Like, when the baby starts walking and then when the mom opens the door and sees the baby walking, it's like, oh, it's actually really sweet. But it makes it so Nintendo when you see the Pikmin in these screens. So I'm assuming that they will release on YouTube a regular version of the video like this.
I wonder. It's a brilliant way to push people to the app. Right. To see the real thing. And then it's like, oh, the app is going to have exclusive or unique things that I can't get on the internet, the regular internet. That's cool. Also, I'm a sucker for like breadcrumbs, scavenger hunts, ARGs, which are alternate reality games it tends to happen in the video game space where it's like, hey, we're going to we're sneak previewing a game or we're going to shadow drop a game or whatever, but we're releasing a cryptic something. And then the internet detectives get to work and I got to figure out what the hell's going on.
And they find it.
No Man's Sky did this when they first started making updates to their original very broken game. It was the most amazing thing. And other games will do, like, they'll release like weird sounds and then people will put them in like a a spectral analyzer, and it's like, oh my god, there's a Pikmin shape in the sound wave, and that means it's this or that. So this to me feels like this cryptic, weird, what are we doing? And then breadcrumbs lead you to the app, and then, oh my god, so is this a Pikmin game? Is this an augmented reality Pikmin thing? Is this a Pikmin movie, which makes no sense, but could be interesting? We don't know more than this, I guess, at this
Actually,
time.
I'm trying to think about it. My memory sucks, as we all know, but like, has Nintendo done anything like this before where they've been like, here's a thing that has nothing to do with games, but then it is this thing?
I do not recall.
I
I do
don't
not know.
recall, but I feel like I can't remember anything. That's not new, but like I just think it strikes me as a little unusual of an approach for them.
Yes, which is why I think people we really took note of it. It was very like, this
What is
channel is
this?
only for game trailers and announcements. Literally.
Yeah.
For years, it has been nothing but. And then there's this cryptic thing. So, yeah, I don't know. Color me surprised and impressed and intrigued, Nintendo.
You know, total theory, and I'm sure other people on the internet are saying this too, but they had such success with the Super Mario movie
Mhm.
that I'm wondering if maybe this is kind of almost like it could be like a tease of like, we're going to make a Pikmin movie. Because if you think about Pikmin, I feel like, you could come up with so many fun to watch and interesting scenarios using Pikmin.
It would be beautiful and adorable.
Mhm.
But I think when you're at this scale and you're a Nintendo, you make Mario Brothers movies and you make
You
a
make
Zelda movie.
Zelda. Yeah.
There is no like. So, but again, this short looks very Illumination. It looks like it
Mhm.
was drawn, or animated by Illumination, which makes the Minion movies and maybe Kung Fu Panda. They're obviously, and they make the Mario movie. So
Right.
they
Right.
have a style, and I like it. I know not everyone loves it, but I think their work is great. I'm very impressed by
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting. I wonder if they'll say anything else or if they're just like, well, this is it.
I mean, it's got to be a game. So
It's got to be something.
there's a location game. I feel like maybe you played it. Called Pikmin Bloom, right?
I played it briefly. It didn't stick with me. Like it didn't give me the dopamine hook the same way that Pokemon Go did, but I
Right.
did try it. I
I
have a
love the
friend who
concept
still
of it.
plays it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is something about this trailer that's like, oh, the baby sees the Pikmin, but the mom doesn't see them, and there is something. I don't know why I can't get away from this like augmented reality of like, when I hold up my phone, the Pikmin are there and I'm playing a game with them, but no one else in the room. Like if you're playing Pokemon Go, no one else can see the Bulbasaur in your living room, but you can,
Right.
and there you are.
Right.
There's nothing about the trailer that confirms that, but that I don't know why that's kind of sticking with me as a clue.
I mean, I feel like there's no way that they're not gonna like say something other than just like, well, here's a video, and then here's a reveal of Pikmin in the video, and goodbye.
Goodbye until tomorrow. By the time this goes out, maybe we'll know more. Yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Whatever it is kind of nice. Like, I love Nintendo. I love what they do, but it's kind of nice to see something from them that makes me go, what are you doing? Like, but not in a bad way. Not in like the, Wii Fit
Hey, you want a
finger
$99
monitor way.
Virtual Boy?
I was thinking specifically about the E3 year where they announced the Wii Fit finger monitor, which was to track your
I don't know anything about this.
heart. Well, that's because they squelched it so quickly.
They killed it.
Because
Okay.
the audience literally booed.
Heart tracking, but what else?
I don't remember. This was 2007, I think.
Wii Fit, because Wii Fit was the balance board or something, right?
Wait, I'm just gonna quickly Google, which
Wii
now
Fit
everyone can watch me do.
I've never played Wii Fit, but I remember folks
Okay, it
being
was
very
called the
enthusiastic
Wii
about it.
Vitality Sensor.
Okay, yes.
It was a canceled accessory announced in 2009, not 2007. It was
Close
intended
enough.
to be a pulse oximeter
Yes.
that would clip onto your finger, but the development was halted because the device did not work reliably on about 10% of people.
Okay.
I will send you a link, but yes, let me tell you,
So it was
that
just
was
like kind of
not
like
a
bum
success at
technology. It wasn't
E3.
like people freaking out like, "Oh my god, they're stealing my data." Like it
No,
was,
no, no. Oh no, it
Okay,
was
okay.
nothing like that. It was
Oh my
more like,
god, it
I'm here
looks
for
like
a
the
video game,
doctor's. It looks
doesn't
like the
it?
doctor's office thing. Yeah.
I remember thinking, wow, it has been one of my life dreams to go to E3, and this is the announcement that I get
I'm
the
gonna
year
put
that I
this
get
on
to
the
go.
screen so you could see it. It's like it's a pulse ox monitor connected to a Wii remote.
It was
I've
so
never seen this in my
awkward.
life.
It was so awkward when they put that up on, like, like when they do the keynotes, they put it on a giant screen behind them. They put that on that screen, and the auditorium was just silent.
Spectacular.
I'm
Well,
glad I
thanks
got
for.
to share that story.
I just love that you took us down memory lane there. Yeah. All right. Well, look. I like that Nintendo's like, come get the real story in our app. Like that's fun and cool.
It is.
And I'm still not going to download the app because whatever's in the app will just be posted to the internet within 10 seconds of it being in the app. So I'll just check
That's
there
fair.
when it's out.
That's fair.
Unless you're going to give me some cool profile option icons by logging into the app, then I'll be there.
I
'Cause I
just don't
wanna
want any
collect
more
them all.
apps. Like, please don't give me any more apps. Like,
Fair.
I forcefully delete apps now, and when someone's like, download my app, I can be in the middle of reading about something and they'll be like, just download our app or just sign up, and I'm like, nope, and I just close it. Like, I
Do you
don't care
ever
what it is. I'm too overloaded. Like, I
do
don't
you
want
ever
any of it anymore.
you ever use a product or you ever like find your way to something and it's like, we don't have an app. It's just a really, really excellent website that does amazing things. You're like, oh my God, this is like a native app in a website.
No.
Do you know Hero Forge?
Yeah.
Hero Forge is a way to make miniatures for your tabletop games, but they're
Right.
custom. You design them in 3D, and you then you paint them, and then you order them, and they ship you your custom design. And the way that it's the creativity of it is unbelievable. No app, you just
You
make
just
it in a
do it
web
on
browser.
web.
It's the most amazing. It's like using AutoCAD on your phone in a web
Can you
browser.
imagine trying to do that on your phone though? Like, that sounds awful.
Yes, and it's so good. That's what I mean. If like I'm like floored by how amazing the tools are and it's all just HTML5 whatever on a website. And I'm like, yes. You don't need to be installed on my phone. You don't need to track all my data. You don't need to spy on. They're just like,
just give me the service.
it's the
and
World
let me
Wide
enjoy
Web,
it.
y'all. Let's just be on the web. Anyway. Hey, speaking of the World Wide Web, our next story. Let me pull this up here. Can I show this? Yes. Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Not the news. That makes me sound like I'm like, sweet. I love a good DDoS attack.
Yeah. You can probably see me doing my web browser here. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna try to like follow along with this. So we are recording Thursday, and this is this happened yesterday, I believe. So this was Wednesday the 7th. I'm just scrolling down on the video here. Many services, including Amazon Web Services, Steam, Riot Games, which I guess they probably have their own launcher, League of Legends, OpenAI, which is the makers of ChatGPT, Spectrum Internet, like and EA Games, Hulu. I'm assuming that many of these services are hooked into Amazon Web Services because Amazon Web Services powers 98.7% of the internet these days. Okay, but so I don't know the ins and the outs. Oh, apparently Pal World is on the list here. But if you were trying to play a game on Steam or Epic yesterday, Wednesday, and you couldn't log in or couldn't buy a game, that's because theoretically a record-breaking DDoS from presumably, allegedly, from a botnet called the Isuru botnet, AISURU. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. This is theoretically the largest botnet on the internet right now. And for those who are uninitiated, I'm not an expert, but I consult on a podcast that digs into this stuff very deeply. And that host is definitely an expert. So I listen to a lot of this stuff. And basically, a botnet is just, not just, it is malware that has affected thousands or millions of devices. So that's usually computers and phones. But I think what some of the coverage is saying here is that these might be connected devices. So these might be like smartwatches or thermostats or refrigerators and some computers and some phones. And so thousands and thousands, maybe millions of devices all linked together by a central hub or hacker. And then that hacker is like, go to these websites at the same time. And so suddenly you have thousands and thousands, if not millions of devices pinging Steam servers and pinging Epic servers and pinging Amazon servers in rapid succession. And those platforms are not equipped they are equipped to handle massive amounts of traffic. They're not equipped to have their traffic doubled and tripled and quadrupled in like a minute at a time. So
that's what causes
DDoS, denial of service attack, is we're going to flood your servers with traffic so much that your servers crash. And so, again, I'm reading this article from cybernews.com, which was, they kind of like sussed out the story and kind of identified what was going on here. And what I think they're trying to say is that the previous record for the biggest attack, the DDoS attack, was in September of this year. That was 22.2 terabits per second. So I guess that's measuring like how much traffic is flowing from the botnet to the target site. So I don't know exactly what 22.2 terabits per second. That's a lot of traffic per second. Like, I think your internet connection is measured in megabits per second or gigabits per second. This is terabits per second of traffic hitting these sites. So that was 22.2. This one was estimated at 29.6. So if this is to be understood and believed, this might be the biggest botnet attack in history from this Isuru botnet. And we still don't know who is behind it or why they are attacking these particular servers.
Well, that's my first thought is, okay, so the Cyber News story actually mentions that it has attacked a cybersecurity blog. It's attacked internet connected devices.
Krebs on Security is one of the most respected cybersecurity blogs. Is it Brian Krebs? He's like a legend in the cyber industry. Okay. So when he writes something on his blog, everyone in the IT and tech world is like, oh, okay, this is a thing.
I guess what I'm wondering is like, what's the point? Like, is it just like a display of power? Is that Could it? Be. Is it like, I can do this, And I mean, okay.
Sometimes it's just people being like, LOL, we control you. We can take you down whenever you want. Sometimes it's protest. And so that when I first saw it, I was like, oh, I wonder if they are targeting certain companies, maybe if they have bad political values or are complicit in what's going on in Palestine or whatever. And these particular companies don't line up with any of that. And as of this recording, I don't know that anyone has like said, yes, we did this because XYZ. I think they're just, we don't know, I guess, is what I can say at this moment of recording.
Wild.
But I found it interesting. I just found it, it's tangentially related to gaming because, like, again, if you were trying to log into your Steam or PlayStation or Epic account yesterday and couldn't get on,
That
It's
was
because the
why.
biggest DDoS attack in history was unfolding
But this
before
has
us.
since been like everything's back to normal
Everything
now
seems
for
back to normal.
users.
Yeah, we were people in Discord and we were logging on in the early evening
Mhm.
to play Megabonk, and all was well. So
Interesting.
that's the news. Any other stories that you wanted to take a peek at before we move on?
Nope, that's all I looked at this week as well. So
Just
I
looking
guess
at
we'll
this
just
pulse
talk
ox
about.
sensor from the Wii again. All right.
Oh
We
boy.
really have to talk about a video game that you've been playing, that I've been playing, that we've all been enjoying. It's a little game called Megabonk. And
Megabonk.
I'm going to queue up some footage of it here.
So
Tell me about your
you
experience
mentioned
with this
it.
amazing game.
Yes, you mentioned Megabonk. I believe this was not my first time seeing it.
Oh,
I
here's a
think.
State Farm advertisement because I don't
Oh,
have YouTube
yay.
Premium.
um, I think that I had seen the preview for Megabonk somewhere. And I was like, okay, cool. So Vampire Survivors with 3D,
Yeah.
And then I think maybe I put it on my wish list. I don't know. And then a couple days ago, you said like, oh, like there's a Megabonk demo. And I don't think I realized the game was just straight up out. I just thought it was a demo for it.
Yeah,
So I
I
was
didn't
like,
know either. And I think there was a demo maybe during Next Fest or something. I could be wrong on that. I don't
right.
think there's a demo out now. I just was like,
I think
people
they
are going nuts for this game, and I straight up just paid $10 and said, what the hell?
right. Well, I did too, because, you were like, well, it's, the demo's out. Yeah, the demo's now gone. I just looked at the Steam page,
Okay.
but luckily it was still there when you mentioned it a few days ago. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go, a demo's free. I'm going to get the demo. And I was like, okay, I think I know what to expect. And where to begin? At first, my first playthrough, which I think I spent a couple hours at the demo, I think I thought, it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's still fun,
Mm-hmm.
but I was playing from the beginning, and so as a result, you're going to have those shorter runs first where you die fast.
Right. Totally.
And I was like, okay, I'm dying fast. That's cool. Whatever. I kind of know what to expect here. And I don't think that I felt that kind of. There is a feeling that Vampire Survivors gave me, a specific feeling when you get that build, you get a good build going, and you just start to fucking massacre things.
Yes.
Like the waves of your destruction just across the screen. And I was like, that is like the dopamine high that I really needed. And it continued
and you
for
need
like a
to
month.
face the resistance in those early runs to be like, fuck, oh man, I'm getting swarmed. Oh, I can't really break through. And then building up your build to then eviscerate is what it's all about.
What happened was I played the demo for I think like 2 or 3 hours, and then I thought about it, and then I thought about it, and then I was like, I think I'll just buy it. No, I was like, I told Patrick about it, and he's like, I think the game's just out. And I was like, oh, it is. Oh, all right. Well, I think I'll just buy it. It's $10. And so I bought it, and your demo progress did not transfer.
It did not.
Over, so
okay,
you had
that's
to start
interesting.
again.
I see.
And I was like, okay, I'm just going to start again. And so I start from the beginning, but it's a little different because however the creator made the demo, you don't see the same creatures, for instance, like once you start the full game. See some different creatures right away. Obviously you see the menus of absolutely everything you can unlock, so it's very different because there was a lot of stuff locked in the demo.
Okay.
But you just kind of get a bigger expanse of like, okay, I see what's going to happen here. And so I think I started to kind of groove in then, I was like, okay, now I've got the full game and I'm going to see
what's ahead of you. You see what you're working toward and you're seeing the variety. I wonder, I can't speak to the demo, but I also noticed that my early runs had certain enemies and then like the same exact runs had totally different enemies. And what I started to realize was that like, it's not like if you're in the first zone, you have a pool of, because I think one of the quests was like defeat 1,000 skeletons. I'm like, what skeletons? What are you talking about? And then I
Oh, you
just
didn't
did
see them
a
yet.
third run, and then the skeletons were everywhere. And I think it's just like, oh, I'm over here, and now I'm getting swarmed by skeletons. Oh, I'm over here, I'm getting swarmed by bumblebees. Oh, I'm over here, I'm getting swarmed by these, spider explosion dudes, whatever.
Now, when you go from tiers, like tier 1 to tier 2, do all the enemies change?
I
'Cause
f-
I saw a
my
tier open last night, but I didn't go to it yet.
my assumption is that it's a lot of the same enemies in the same zone, but they just come harder and faster on the different tiers. And of course, you get bonuses to your silver, which is the meta currency, and there are specific quests to unlock,
Okay.
as you know, for different
Okay.
tiers. It's like
Cool.
beat tier 2 in this with this character, and it's like, okay, well, I'm
And that's how
barely
you
hanging
open a
on in
new
tier
area.
1. Yeah, there's the
Right.
new areas, right? Yeah, so
That's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, I'm not going to tier 2 yet because I don't feel like I'm strong enough, but I'll give it a
no,
little,
me
a
neither.
couple more hours of gameplay and then I'll get there. But yeah, so I think after I bought the full game and started grooving into that versus just the demo is when my brain click happened. And
Yeah,
I went,
totally.
oh, okay, I'm vibing. And at first, when you said in the video that you made why you thought it was better than Vampire Survivors, I was
Mhm.
like, I don't know how I feel about that because I love Vampire Survivors and I'm pretty attached to it. But I have realized that you were right in that there is a much more active element here.
Mhm.
And I think it makes it a bit more fun. So I don't know if you've unlocked, I don't know if it would be Monk or Monkey, but he's like
No,
the
I have
ape.
not.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't
I'm
think
so
it's
fascinated by this because, like, I've probably played 10 hours. You've probably played up 7 to 10 ish, right?
something like that. Yeah.
And Honey Bro is on the leaderboard with us, and what I am noticing is that you just described a character that I don't even know what quest unlocks that. I have not even seen that character, and Honey Bro set a record on the leaderboard among the friends. And I was like, oh, did you use this character? He's like, no, I used this other one. I'm like, I haven't even unlocked that.
You're like, who
So
is that?
who is that? So like what you do in different runs kind of leads you to different quests, and
I think
some quests you
so.
are just kind of completing passively of like, oh cool, I unlocked a new thing, and some quests are like, I need this weapon and I gotta do this 7 times to do it, whatever. I love that.
So I just looked it up because I was like, how did I unlock Monk? The 2 requirements are to buy the banana ring, which is if you don't have it, the
I have it.
shit.
It's good.
Love it. And to find him you have to release him in the forest level. So you have to find him in a
How do
forest
I open
level.
that cage? I've seen the cage a bunch of times. I don't know how to open it.
I got a key somehow. I don't know how I got it, but I did.
See?
I don't
I love
remember.
this. I love this.
Right. It's fun because then you start doing that thing where you're like, that thing we've talked about, like the Nintendo Power Days where you're like,
Yes.
did you get the key? How'd you
Exactly.
get the key? But it's
Exactly.
online.
Yes.
But what's really fun about him is that, like, how if you're playing like either one of the 2 start characters, like you do this thing where you're trying to like when you get to bosses, they'll do that thing where like the little red circle opens up underneath you and you're like, oh shit, I gotta move or I'll get hurt.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because Monk/Monkey is a monkey, first off, he can climb straight up walls.
Really? See,
Yes. So you can run up to a wall and you can be cornered and you can go up the wall. So that's a killer.
Before you dig into this particular character, just in case listeners haven't seen it or haven't been playing it, like the reason it's so much more active than Vampire Survivors is that you're in the 3rd dimension. You can jump, you can slide. Clearly, some characters can climb up walls, which I did not know. And the point of that is that in Vampire Survivors, you are just
side
moving.
Scrolling, so you're just moving.
You're just moving in accordance with what weapons you have and where enemies are coming at you. But this is Megabonk is much more of like an action platformer. It's not really a platform game, but it's a 3D action game with the Vampire Survivors for sure.
And that is an interesting addition because when you're playing Vampire Survivors, even though there are levels where you can move in different directions, you can at least kind of visually, like it's just what's on your screen.
You can see the playing field. Yes.
Right.
Right stick, you need to be monitoring where the camera is. And
Mhm.
I'll just qualify my statement on the little video that we made, which is like, I like it better. But if the simplicity of Vampire Survivors, and Vampire Survivors is a super deep game, as you obviously and listeners know. But I think the accessibility of I can just move my finger on my phone screen and that's the whole game is very, very valuable to many, many players. For me personally, I love it, but I love Megabonk more because
Right.
of the dynamic action system.
Man, well, all I can say is the first time that you unlock monk/monkey and you get to jump, you're
That's
going to be so
wild.
happy.
That's so
Because
cool.
let's just say that red damage is opening under you. You
Yes.
can just jump straight up into the air.
That I'm sold.
Like, and you
It's
can
hard to avoid
literally
that area. It's very hard to
right.
avoid with other characters. That's a huge win for this.
When
that
you
new
go
thing.
like level his stuff up, he can jump so high that you literally get a bird's eye view of the map. It is so much fun.
Sick.
Like last night I was playing him and like I did one of those launches. I was like, what?
Yeah, I
You can
love
like figure out like, okay, where am I going to go? Like how far away do I want to get? You know, it's a trip. And then I also remember that the first time I played, what's the skeleton on the skateboard's name?
Yes. Calcium.
Calcium.
There's a lot of meme humor, and
love it.
I like it a lot. I know
I
some
like it a
people are
lot,
like
too.
eye rolling at it, but I think it's just
I think it works. It works for my sense of humor, right? But yeah, I was playing Calcium, and when I unlocked Calcium in the demo, I was like, I don't know if I like him. Like he's faster, but like the until you really get the bone leveled up, it's not like I don't know. It didn't feel like a powerful weapon to me.
right.
So then I bought the full game. I unlocked him again, and then I started like getting deeper into how you could build him. And I was like, oh, actually, this is the shit because the skateboard makes you so much faster that you can evade more quickly, which is really important. If you pair him with something like the I forget what it's called, but it's like the equivalent of like the Holy Bible in Vampire Survivors.
The
Where
aura?
Aura. Like it's the equivalent of that. So that is a great thing to pair him with because then you can just blast through hordes and just be like, yeah, whatever, bro.
What's up with the skateboard? I haven't used I've unlocked Calcium, but not played with him much. Him or her? Haven't checked down
or
there.
They, you don't know.
Or they, yes.
But well, I mean, speed, obviously,
but
right?
like it's something where you will gain speed if you keep moving, but if you stop moving, you return to the normal speed. So it's like about momentum. Is that right?
Correct. And there's going to be a point where things, when they get dense, you are going to be moving pretty much nonstop. So then he gets really fast, which is great.
Yeah.
And he also, because of the skateboard, is able to do the bigger jumps, which will come in real handy
you
from
can, like,
getting
leap
away
over
from the boss damage.
and stuff. Yes.
Yeah. So then you're like, oh, okay. And like, I'll say this, Vampire Survivors, I feel like because you don't have that same kind of movement, you know, your characters were like, okay, we have all these different attacks. That's how the characters varied. Oh, this one has a bow. This one has magic. This one has this. This one has cats. Like, you know, whatever, right? One of them had cats.
I love it.
But here it's like, oh, there is an actual dynamic of, oh, this one's really fast and can jump really high, so I can play it like this. Oh, this one is, you know, like
this one starts with a shield. You know, this one starts with a little shield that gives you a buffer.
Right.
And in Vampire Survivors, obviously there are meta goals to pursue, and so you're grinding and synergizing different things to accomplish different goals. But this has this too. But I think something I want to point out is that in Vampire Survivors, you are trying to survive until the time runs out. Typically, a typical run.
Very good call out, because this does not work that way.
You are trying to achieve a goal. You are trying to find something in the map. You are trying to unlock a boss. You are trying to defeat a boss in a run. So it's not about hanging out and trying to stay alive, although that's a huge part of it. There are active goals. And then the other thing I'll say is that every single time I sit down with the game, my build is slightly different, and I feel like my play style is radically different. I choose one weapon over another, but then I choose the same weapon, but a different tome. And suddenly I'm doing this, like you said, like this aura size duration build as opposed to like a pew pew range build. And because running and jumping and sliding is such a huge part of the game, my play style, the way I move around is so different as opposed to Vampire Survivors. Again, we're not shitting on Vampire Survivors, but
No,
Vampire
it's just
Survivors is
different.
move this way, move that way because I'm getting pummeled. This is so much more dynamic.
I think we talked about this when we were originally both like in the thrall of Vampire Survivors, which was this has made a genre. It has invented a type, a specific type of game.
Correct.
And we're going to always see, once that genre is invented, improvement. Like I had mentioned, and I don't know if I had mentioned it to you in private or in last week's episode, that I was excited about a remade Puzzle Quest coming out.
Yes.
I got it. I played it, and I was
you might have said that off air, actually. I
think I did. Yeah. I got it. I played it, and it didn't scratch the same itch as it used to. And I thought to myself, "Huh, that's a bummer." And then I thought, yeah, because this originated the Match 3 RPG,
right?
But since then, because it has been, I don't know how many years, a lot of years. It has been changed in ways, now, I mean, I think there are a few exception genres, like Stardew didn't invent farming, but I guess maybe it had invented what I would call heartfelt farming made by one guy. And
sim, farming, right, whatever you want to call it.
And I feel like a lot of people have made those games, but I, to be honest, still feel like Stardew stands so far above all of them, you know? Not to say those games aren't good, because some of them I've really loved, but yeah, like certain games have a signature that is just theirs. But it makes sense to me that someone would eventually, rather than just repeat the exact formula of Vampire Survivors, iterate on it in a way that feels really engaging and fun. And I think that's what this is,
Yes. And it wears the influence of Vampire Survivors on its sleeve. Like basically all the weapons are, there's a lot of different, because you're in a 3D environment, the weapons act differently, but like you can pretty much boil it down to like, this is this and this is this.
Yeah. I think there's even a few moments, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think there's a few moments where I was like, oh, that's like a hat tip. That's an actual hat tip to Vampire Survivors, but I can't remember. If I come across any others, I'll have to mention them. But yeah, so it was very, very fun. And it's interesting because this game has come out, or I've discovered it around the same time that Silent Hill F has come out, which is something I was looking really forward to. And I have continued to play Silent Hill F, but I think I would be playing Silent Hill F every night if I had not started bonking. And now that I've started bonking, I'm like, what kind of day did I have today? Did I have a day where I'm in the mood for some dark trauma, or am I in the mood to just bonk, man?
Now that I've started bonking is a sentence that you just said. I love the name. I love the humor. Vampire Survivors has weird meme-ish humor as well. Like the character names and the way, like you said, oh, this weapon is like, I'm throwing cats at enemies. Like it is weird and quirky in the same ways.
Yeah, and like, whereas like, that's have you gotten the Borger yet? Borger.
No. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Every time I pick one up, I'll play, and I'll be playing, and every time I pass one, I'm like, Borger.
I remind you that the canonical name of the health pickups in Vampire Survivors is Floor Chicken.
Yeah.
So like the quirky, I don't know how else to say it. It's not whimsical. It's weird quirkiness of that beautiful Italian man who made Vampire Survivors is bleeding over into whoever the fuck made this game and sold a million
internet
copies.
Humor. That's how I think of it. Internet humor. It's net humor.
Humor.
What do we call the AI dating people earlier? Was it
wire sexuals?
Sexuals.
Is that right?
This is like wire humor. It's like if you're on the internet, you think that's funny.
Yeah. Because edgelord meme stuff, whatever. But it's done in both cases in a very I think it's done in a self-aware way. I think
It
I've heard
is.
a lot of coverage that's like, oh, eye roll. It's like enough with the meme stuff. But I think it's, yeah,
But we live and breathe memes. Get real. Like, come on. They're everywhere. They're on your social media platforms.
sure. But you could,
It's a language.
the other thing that I love about this is that you could have made this identical game with the identical weapons and mechanics in Unreal Engine 5, and it could have been like the sickest, sexiest looking Vampire Survivors homage ever, but it was like, whoa, this looks like a 3D action game. But they didn't. They made it to look like a janky ass PS1 game.
And I feel
And
like
it's
that's a part of the
perfect.
appeal, right?
Yes.
Because if it was like pretty, it wouldn't be the same. Like the fact that it is kind of janky looking is a part of what's funny about it to me.
Yes.
Like, and I remember I've had that reaction to some other games too, and sometimes it's worked in their favor. So I think, yeah, it's an aesthetic choice that works for the right situation.
I'm loving every second of it. And
It's just fun.
It's tiding me over. I'm wrapping up Cyberpunk, though I got to find some time to like close it out. And I'm waiting for Ball Pit, which comes out
which is
later
a week
this month, a week away-ish.
It's a week. Yeah.
I'm waiting for Power Wash Simulator, which is on the 23rd. And then I was reminded that Arc Raiders, which I think, based on everyone's hype for it, I think that's going to be my next sort of co-op action style game, which comes out on the 30th, I believe. So I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be like buying or spending money on a big game until those come out. And so here comes Megabonk being like, yeah, man, turn off your brain, plug, the music's great. You know?
Yeah, it's just fun. And I meant to mention during this part of the podcast that I thought to myself, God, the only thing that would be even more fun than this would be if it was multiplayer.
I know.
And I was like, man, that would be like life-changing, right? So there is no official multiplayer from the developers, but there is a mod.
Is there really?
Yes,
That's really cool.
I'll put it in the Discord chat, so when we can share it in the show notes.
All right,
too, if you want,
I would like to take a look at that. There are global leaderboard. I love that you log into the menu and there's global leaderboards. So you're playing your runs and you're like, oh, I got like 1,500 kills, 1,800. Like that's pretty good. And you look at the global leaderboards and the number one person has like 11 million kills. You're like, okay.
and you're like, how? And then you're like, it's
clearly
so fun
the
to
power
see
scale goes
that.
like a hockey stick at some point.
Well,
but then
if you haven't yet, watch some YouTube videos. Because
I know,
honestly, that has been a lot of fun for me. Because after my first night with the demo, I was like, okay, I'm not that worried about get good per se, even though the menu literally jokes about it when you die. But like, I'm more like, well, how are other people playing this? And I found out some really interesting like beginner tips and secrets that I thought were fascinating. One that I have been using, and so far it has made my runs better, is in early game when you're still like unlocking characters and stuff, try going through levels and focusing on just getting rid of vases for money, but don't spend money on unlocking chests.
Right.
And I was like, well, how that has to be counterintuitive.
Wouldn't you want to get powered up? For listeners who haven't played, that's the other really active component is that you gain... Okay, wait. We should clarify this.
Yes.
When you level up, just like Vampire Survivors, you level up or add weapons or abilities, which are tomes. If you unlock a shrine, you increase the stats of your character, and you're usually choosing stat boosts based on your build as your build is shaping up with those weapons and tomes.
Correct.
When you pass by a chest, you have to unlock a chest with gold, which you acquire by killing enemies. So you can happen upon a locked chest that has an upgrade waiting for you, but you can't open it until you have enough gold. So what you start to do is you're like, all right, I'm almost up to the chest. I got to get a few more kills. And then you get the kills and then you unlock the chest. Oh shit, here comes a swarm. But you are building. Oh, and the chests have items. Is that right?
Yes.
So it's weapons, tomes, stat boosts, items, which give you specific effects. Again, that's 4 things that flow into the build you're creating. And this is why I said every time I sit down with the game, my build is radically different, even if I'm using the same types of weapons or the same character. So why should I not get the chests right away?
So the idea there was that you would save up. I think the idea there was that you would save up your money and be able to, but it's silver that unlocks stuff for you in the main menu between runs.
And
so
to be honest, I don't know how silver is earned. Is it by lasting a certain amount of time or defeating bosses? How do you get the meta currency? I don't know. I just end up with
I get it.
Yeah.
I just don't know how I get it. And because the levels get so frenetic, I'm not sure.
Right.
I know that sometimes I'll get, like when you, and also for the sake of listeners who may not have played, one of the things that is just like Vampire Survivors is as you kill stuff, they leave behind experience for you. You pick it up, and then every time you go through a bar, you get to choose from 3 things. Right?
You're gaining experience gems, you're gaining gold, which unlocks the chests, and you're somehow gaining silver, which is the meta currency that you only cash in later.
You know what? I think you're picking up silver, as well, because I'm thinking about the visual and I'm realizing that there are silver coins.
But those are the experience things. Oh, are they? Are there separate coins? I honestly don't know.
Well, I guess I'm going to play it again and try to pay attention tonight because I don't know for sure. I just know that I finish a level and then I'll be like, oh, I've got more silver now.
Oh, I got 12 silver. Yes. Right. And then as you complete quests, you earn the reward for the quest, but you also earn a little bit of silver when you tick that box to cash in the quest.
Right.
It's so great. It's so great on every level.
I'll also say that last thing I'll say about it, if you watch some YouTube videos about it, you will also see how insane it is going to get.
I kind of don't want to be spoiled. I don't want to see what weapons and characters they have because I kind of just want to like, whoa, look at this guy. Like the ape guy, I didn't really know, and I want to be like excited to pop those open. So we'll see.
Well, then I will use spoiler tags if I talk about anything in the Discord. But I think it's safe to say we're both
gonna. Do we need a Megabonk spoiler channel? Come on, I don't think we do. The epic narrative of Megabonk.
Yes. So yes, but I think it's safe to say we're probably both going to play more after this conversation. So yeah, I know I am because I was thinking about what I was going to play tonight, and I was like, I'm playing Megabonk. Silent Hill, I'm getting there, man. I promise, but I'm just going to Megabonk.
Before we get out of here, tell me about this other game that you have queued up here. I don't know that you've played it, but you are about to. Is this correct?
I actually have played it. So the game is called Memento.
Oh, you played a demo.
And
I
played a demo. And speaking of games that are of games that make their own genre and then inspire a genre.
Exactly.
We talked a lot about how we felt like unpacking was going to be a genre. This is absolutely in the unpacking space. It calls itself a cozy room decorator, but I think that the twist that they chose here is very interesting. The objects you choose to decorate with will actually alter the course of the story.
That's very cool.
So it does have a different mechanic than what you played in Unpacking, which, as we talked about when I was playing Unpacking, there are certain things had to go certain places. It wasn't like you could just put anything anywhere.
Unpacking is a puzzle that you have to solve in order to progress, and maybe this is more emergent or freeform.
That's what it felt like to me. Like when I played the demo, and the nice thing is that when I actually played the demo, I was then asked to I had signed up on their mailing list. And so they let you know that the demo was out. Nice. And then they were like, oh, we want some feedback. And so I got to do a whole like Google sheet with feedback. And so there were a couple things that I felt like weren't crystal clear. And now I'm wondering if they were saying in the new email that this play test is going to be like, okay, here's the next iteration. Please play this. Please let us know, what you like and what you don't like here. And then they'll keep developing, which is kind of nice. And the play test is actually available should you be interested in this on the Steam page. So it's not exclusive to me. Anyone can play it. But I thought that it would be pretty fun to just kind of see where it's going as it develops. It's made by a little team of 3. They
Mhm.
seem like really cool humans. And I like the idea of playing on the whole, puzzle slash decorator concept, unpacking concept, and seeing what they're going to go with here. All this art is hand drawn. It's
Yeah,
really
it's beautiful.
beautiful.
I really like the aesthetic of the game. Yeah.
Me too. So even if I am bonking later tonight, I'm going to have to make some time to unlock this because the playtest is, I will say, I think the email says
It's probably limited,
limited.
right?
Yeah, I think there's maybe like 3 days left. So I need to
Mhm.
get that in before I miss my window.
Yeah.
They don't have a release date in space yet. I think they're just going to keep working on it until they're happy with what they have. But
Mhm.
yeah, it definitely looks like really something really fun.
Love it. That is
So
Memento, Momento, which is
mhm.
different from Memento,
Memento, the move, like, yeah, you're
which
thinking
is,
of
well, that's the movie, but like if
Memento
I
is like a
a
moment with O on the
souvenir,
end.
exactly right. So I guess what I'm asking is like the word memento. I brought a memento home from my vacation. That is
Different.
MEM, a different word.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so they're calling it like moment.
Yes, they're
Got it.
doing it. They're purposely riffing on that word.
Much like Donkey Kong Bonanza, which I only realized was a banana after
Banana.
purchasing the game.
Oh, those puns. They're so
Oh,
funny. Actually, before we wrap up, were you going to talk about games too?
no, they're just
You're
mega
not?
bonking, and I will have another demo video to put up on the YouTube channel
Oh,
very
really?
shortly. So yeah, I'll subscribe to the YouTube to.
Yes, we're trying some new and exciting things. Well, the one thing I did forget to mention in the news segment, and I just want to quickly go back to it, is that there was a new post today on the Expedition 33
Oh
official
yes,
website.
yes,
And it was a thank you from Sandfall. It was an announcement that they have sold 5
or
million
up to
copies of the
5 million.
game, which I
Sure,
think is so lovely and exciting for them. That's a lot for them. So I'm like,
for a small
wow, that's
studio,
so
yeah.
great.
Yep.
And they did announce that they're working on a game update.
Yeah.
So that will contain a new playable environment, according to them, taking the characters of Expedition 33 to a brand new location with new enemy encounters and surprises to discover,
Mm-hmm.
challenging new boss battles for late game players to overcome. And those already existed, so there
I was
must be
gonna
more of
say
them.
more challenging. How
I
much more
know that
challenging can this
they
game
were,
get?
some of those were really tough. So, new costumes for each member.
Fun.
And then they're also doing new text and UI game localizations into, like, let's see, Czech, Ukrainian, Latin American, Spanish,
Cool.
Turkish, Vietnamese, Thai, and Indonesian,
It's really
bringing the
cool.
total number of supported languages to 19, which I'm guessing that they can afford to do that now because of
Yes.
how much money the game has made. So I
Right.
think that's really cool. But I'm just excited to hear from them, excited to hear about their success, and excited to have any reason to fire it back up and, play new content. So
It's awesome. How cool would it be to speak with a video game localizer?
I'd love
You know
it.
what I
I
mean?
think it would be so much fun and so interesting.
Because
Like,
if you are a translator and you have a book, you are
mhm.
translating these words into these words, and obviously that requires nuance and expertise. Where like not everything's one to one, but like think of all like didn't you tell me like that the script for Expedition 33 is like 10,000 pages or so, or words or lines or
Oh, it
something
was
like that.
enormous. I
You
think
know,
800 maybe. I don't know. It was
something like
huge.
that. There is so much stuff in a video game, especially one like that. There's so much text and there's so much dialogue that it is enormous to even put it in your own language, let alone translate it into 19 others. So that's just like such a cool little piece of the industry that I don't think anyone really thinks much about, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, being able to translate your game to all these other languages means that you're just going to have a wider spread and more people are going to be able
Yeah.
to play it, and that's exciting. And that's not, I mean, they are, not an indie, but what you'd call a double A, I guess, studio. But for them to form and this be the success level of their first game, I mean, it sets the stage really well for them for the future. So very excited for them, and of course excited personally, for the content.
What will they make next? That's a
I mean,
rhetorical question, but like
can
it's
you
so exciting to
imagine?
think about what they could do now.
Well, and also I think it'll be really interesting to see if they can take the criticism they got for the
Mm,
parts that for some people were difficult and or not pleasant, and if, because I think we've said before, the storytelling to me is the crown of the game, and so what you've already got that unlocked, no problem. But
yeah.
can your next game have even better mechanics? Can it transcend, if you do another RPG, can it transcend the typical RPG format and become something as
Give me an
elevated as the
action.
storytelling
I
is?
want this. I want their next IP or another Expedition verse game, but I want it to be an action game, a third
I think that
person
would be
action
great.
game.
And I know a lot of people, and I'm sure they're watching feedback. I know a lot of people want a game about the painters and
Totally.
about the writers. They want to
Yes,
know about
exactly.
that whole thing.
Yep.
And as much as I enjoyed Expedition 33, I hope that if they made a game about the painters and the writers, that it wouldn't just be another classic RPG, because I don't really want to grind for another 80 hours. I hate to say it, but I
Sure.
don't. It would just be great to see it get bigger in that way. And, they have such a great opportunity now to take what they've made and figure out what they want to do next, so.
I can't really ask some more questions about that without spoiling. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, I that premise is super interesting, but it's very different from the original game
Very,
for
very,
reasons that we will leave to the mists.
very. Yes. Agreed. We'll leave it
All
for
right.
now. So.
Let's get out of here. This was our first video podcast. If you're listening on audio, just hop over, give it a like, see what's going on over there. We've got game footage, we've got trailers, we've got previews, we've got us talking about stuff. You're gonna do some video capture of maybe Memento, or we were saying maybe Silent Hill F, but maybe not, because that might be like spoilery. But I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I was thinking about also No, I Am Not a Human, which I've
Yes. Oh,
played to
that's
the
right.
end already, but I thought was such an interesting game to watch because of the format and because of how it works. Just the setting is wild. So I'm still deciding, but I will definitely have something for folks to watch. So we'll be
Sweet.
deciding soon what that's going to be.
We're working out the kinks, but more to come on that. For now, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you did, reminding you to please be kind, rewind your podcasts and your YouTube videos after listening and watching. And we will talk with you in 1 week's time. See you later.
Bye.
Go get your book. Go back behind the book. She's gone.